BitRiver, a Russian cryptocurrency miner, and 10 of its subsidiaries have been sanctioned by the US Treasury. It's the first time a virtual asset miner has been targeted by the United States. So how are the players in the new economy dealing with the changing landscape? Discuss all this and more with Mark Lamb, Chief Executive Officer at CoinFlex, a leading crypto derivatives exchange and yield platform. Great to have you with us again, Mark.
Great to be here.
To kick it off, from being the third largest Bitcoin miner in 2021, Russia is facing a very different reality as the United States and European Union are making efforts to shut down crypto mining in Russia. The IMF says crypto mining could be a route to monetize Russia's energy assets and evade sanctions. What are your thoughts?
We have so many blockchain analysis tools to actually minimize the damage and also effectuate sanctions and enforce these on very, very specific miners. So rather than, I think generally most exchanges haven't banned all of Russia, which you could imagine exchanges deciding to do if there wasn't tooling available to enforce very specific sanctions. An exchange could make the commercial decision, oh, this is just too difficult to deal with, politically risky, we don't want to be dealing with any Russians for compliance reasons, just to go overboard, and so we'll just cut them out. And I think the nice thing, the upside of blockchain monitoring tools like Chainalysis, Elliptic, and others is really that you can be very, very specifically targeted towards specific miners, specific groups of addresses, specific wallets. And that's ultimately the upside of the blockchain. That's the power of blockchain technology. Everything is open, everything is happening on a public ledger. And because it's all on a public ledger, you minimize the damage to the general population.
Well, everything is on a public blockchain, isn't it? And talking about specific targeting, the founder of BitRiver, Igor Renets, was quoted saying the company did not provide services to the Russian government or work with clients sanctioned by the US. Do you think BitRiver got caught in the crossfire between the two nations, or does it highlight the inadvertent negative impact of sanctions, or there's more to it than meets the eye?
I think what you're saying around them being caught in the crosshairs, that's entirely plausible. And one of the huge costs of war is the rippling out effects of people that have nothing to do with it and may have nothing to do with it, just having their lives upended and overturned and all sorts of downsides to their lives. So this is a complex situation. I don't know whether they were very involved with the Russian government or not involved at all, and it's tricky to say. But ultimately, exchanges have to comply with sanctions laws, and this company is now in a worse situation because of what's going on.
And talking about people or companies getting caught in the crossfire, Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange, denied a news report of sharing customer data with Russian intelligence and said that they are honoring European Union sanctions for Russian accounts. But at the same time, they don't want to block out ordinary Russians from using their accounts. How do you see these developments as someone running an exchange themselves? What are the challenges here?
Well, we're in a similar position, so we don't want to be blocking out ordinary Russians from using the platform, while at the same time we always will respect sanctions by the US and other major world governments. And so it's a tricky situation, I think, for any exchange, because not only is the Russian economy a big part of the crypto ecosystem, and at one point it was a very large part of the crypto ecosystem. I remember the days of BTCE, and the first derivatives exchange, the first futures exchange, was actually Russian, ICBit. So Russia's had a very big and long history in crypto, going back to really the earliest of crypto days. But it's it is a country with political difficulties, and it's not the most friendly towards crypto, and sometimes that friendliness goes up and sometimes it goes down. And then obviously you have these factors like war, and it's something where an exchange has to be very nuanced about their statements, about how they're treading politically, about who they're appealing appeasing and who they're, at risk of angering. And that's the thing. You have to make these choices as an exchange. And I think they're pretty easy choices to make, but the situation can also get a lot hairier. And so that's the political landscape you have to navigate as an exchange.
A rather sensitive issue, isn't it? Thanks so much, Mark, for joining in with your perspective.
Thank you for having me.